And we are live. Welcome, audience. TD here with Sanyika, and we are joined by BlockUnchained from Accursed Share. How you doing today, BlockUnchained?
Hey everybody, I'm doing great. We're working on a bunch of stuff right now, which we'll get into. And you both recently joined our Discord community that we launched last Friday. And so I'm just happy to be here to chat with you all and to share our ideas with the audience.
Great. Well, thank you for joining us. So first and foremost, let me start out with asking, so who is the Accursed NFT team?
Yeah, so, I always think it's funny that when like the Discord people / people I know from Upland call me BlockUnchained because, that's who I am in the Discord. But my name is John Connor, and I have been a kind of a product specialist in the tech space for about the last 9 years. And I've worked on a wide variety of different projects, including, you all know me from Upland, where, I kind of led product there for the last year before coming to Accursed Share. And then we have Monica Bellavan. She has her master's from Harvard in art and design history, and is kind of like the voice of our team when it comes to, how we craft our blog posts and our announcements, and all of these things kind of have a unique philosophical grounding that comes from her unique academic experience. And before coming to Accursed Share, she also ran an architecture firm for 10 years. So she has some really unique experience that she brings to the table in terms of the artistic perspective and the linguistic crafting. And then the third member of our founding team is Charles Curran. Charles Curran is an amazing filmmaker, advertising maker, director. He has a number one documentary on Amazon.
Wow.
Called See No Evil. I highly recommend that you all check it out. It's one of the best documentaries I had seen in years for sure. And if you've seen any of our videos, like even your background was a little video that he made, right? It really is the aesthetic backbone to our entire effort, right? To our brand and to the outreach that we're doing.
Great. And so I'm glad that you said it was all right. I guess it's okay that I call you John, right? The transparency is something that like I know that I'm a big fan of, and at NFTGamerTV, we're huge fans of the transparency of like who's behind the team, especially in this industry. We think it's super important. We rank it very highly. So thank you for that background on the team. That's phenomenal. You get definitely a check mark for excellent there from us. So I just want to explain really quick to the audience. So I'm going to ask John a few kind of like off the wall questions during this interview. And what we're going to do sometime later, we're going to run a quiz when we're going to do it on Kahoot.it. If you guys are familiar with it, if you remember the Stuck at 6 p.m. interview, we did one with that also. So you're going to need to pay attention to John's answers to the kind of oddball questions that I'm going to ask. There'll be 3 of them. And I'm going to go ahead and lead off with one of them. John, who is your role model?
My role model. That's a hard one. I'm gonna end up with a cheesy answer, but I try to draw inspiration from a lot of different places. Like early, I got into tech, looking at someone like Steve Jobs, with the understanding that a passion from a school dropout could make a ding in the universe, right? So I definitely have like inspirations from people like that, going back to like Aristotle and certain key terms that help me, better understand like my own thinking and stuff like that. And, I admire what such an individual has been able to accomplish. But my cheesy answer is me. And I mean that in the sense that like, we have Kanye level ambitions here with this company, right? And so we all feel like that on our team. We all feel like, we're stars here and are manifesting our best selves and building this. And it's why we're so excited. It's why we're so confident that this is the future. And it's why we're so confident that, even though it's a crowded space, we're going to stand out completely, because this is like a full on manifested vision that you guys are experiencing here.
Excellent answer. That's going to be a fun one to add in there. All right, so I want to talk about some of the collabs that I've noticed. So I watched the interview that you did with Left House on the UAN, which is great. And I think you mentioned on there, so the 3D team, Protagon, that's the team that did Avengers and Avatar. Is that correct?
Yeah, the Avengers
or Avatar
movies,
2, I think.
And they're currently filming Avatar 2.
Wow.
We are the luckiest people in the world, maybe the most persuasive. We'll see. We were able to convince them to take a break and work with us. They were honestly really compelled by the story and really compelled by all the ideas that we had pulled together, not just with the NFT itself, but what the NFT kind of represents and it being our flagship piece. So they are our producers on this project as well, Protagon, and we can literally say that we have the best 3D scan in the world from the best 3D team in the world by box office standards.
Yeah, I've seen it. We're going to take a look at it. I think it's on the rare NFT. Oh, look at here in a bit. And then I also heard something about the band, the Avalanches. Is that correct?
That's correct. I believe it was Sunday evening. We announced that we were going to be doing a collaboration with the Avalanches. It's going to be a very unique NFT project. Certainly nothing that anyone has seen before when it comes to music NFTs, when it comes to music that can really adapt and leverage the full extent of NFT smart contract technology. I really wish I could share more details, but we're at a point where honestly, we're still writing out the specs and it's becoming this amazing, beautiful project it's part album, part art installation, part collaborative, generative project. And the Avalanches are one of my favorite artists of all time. I mean, when they confirmed, and we were very lucky, this is through a connection that Charlie has with them from a previous collaboration. You know, I was so excited because this is literally a group that they had my favorite album when I was like 18. Taking the bus to debate tournaments, I would listen to the Avalanches. And so from a production perspective, I'm just incredibly excited to work with them. You know, they're absolute legends. And what we're going to be able to produce is going to be like unlike anything that anyone has seen in not just the NFT art space, but also the music space, period.
Yeah. Well, one of our audience members is saying, I want to be able to listen to NFT tracks in my music app. As soon as that's a thing, music NFTs will be the way to go to own music. Excellent.
Yeah, you know, I mean, right. So that's an interesting thing, right? There's music ownership, right? Just like there's like JPEG and video loop ownership. And then there's, you know, what you can really do uniquely with the smart contract that extends the artistic canvas, right? And that's kind of a good segue because like, excuse me, that's why Accursed Share exists, right? Our goal is not only to create, but also to enable the creation of completely unique NFTs by virtue of using nuanced, interesting, artistic, creative, even sometimes destructive smart contracts, right? Really opening up the canvas of what people can do. So that's going to be the thing with these probably multiple NFTs coming out with the Avalanches. They are going to create a unique listening experience that you have not had before.
Yeah. So I know one of the things in the music industry that it's always like a hot topic and maybe even controversial at times, like royalties and payment for you know, to the artist. And I believe that the face NFT is very much rooted in that. What can you tell us about this story here behind the face NFT?
Yeah, so a bunch of things I want to comment on here because I've been doing a deep dive on royalties in the NFT space, and they're controversial. We'll get into that in a minute. But I want to frame the story up a little bit here. So the reason that royalties play such a unique part of the Curse narrative is that Crystal shot the model in that you have up right there. That is her face, the 3D scan. Our story is that her face was stolen by essentially the algorithms of Google, right? And the CEO mill of Condé Nast. For over 6 years, her face has come up almost always #1, but usually in the top 5 on Google when you search face. And it's attached to this article that just keeps getting pushed to the top that's on Glamour magazine owned by Condé Nast. And this wouldn't be such a big deal, except this photo is the most successful photo of her that has ever been taken. She was not compensated for it. It was supposed to be used for something completely different, something that was supposed to support her career, a lookbook, but instead it was stolen from her. And now it gets tens of millions of views regularly. And there's nothing that you can do about it, right? Because there's no one to contact. It's just this article that keeps updating every year to catch SEO, you know? So this is a funny little curse here that has happened, her face being stolen. And the royalties in part are a response to that, right? This NFT, obviously NFTs, you know, they can live forever, right? They're decentralized. But what's unique about this dynamic NFT is that because of Chainlink's keeper technology, the server that sends the information to the NFT to allow it to change, that is also decentralized and thus indestructible, right? Most dynamic NFTs have a fail point at a centralized server, right? Like most of the ones that you see on Async, a lot of cool innovation there. But again, we're the first ones integrating this technology from Chainlink and releasing an NFT that, it's pretty hard to take down because it's fully decentralized, even in its dynamic data feed, right? And so it's a face that will battle the face that was stolen from Crystal, right? It'll live now out on the internet forever, right? And all of the hype that we're building around this, all the story work that we're doing, right? The coverage from Days Media, the coverage from Nowness, the video that was dropped on it. This all is in purpose to the campaign, right? To the overarching narrative that's built into the campaign of this face combating the curse. And that's why the royalties matter as well, right? Because it also means that, whatever this sells for at auction, if someone turns it around for 10x, the artist, the central artist here, Crystal Shot, because it's her face on display, she's perpetually rewarded, right? And of course, as we all know, that's one of the more unique attributes of NFT art is that it rewards later speculation and later growth and later appreciation of the artist's value, right? And the artist is able to capture that no matter at what point in their career they sell their art.
Excellent.
Or in this case, their face.
Excellent. Does anyone expect Crystal to receive any compensation for the Google search situation after reclaiming ownership of her identity through the NFT?
So it's funny. That's why we're doing the NFT. We don't expect anything from Google, right? Because that's part of the problem. Is it's like there's no one even to reach out to, right? It's the algorithms that have like strangely placed her face here, right? It's more so the NFT itself. It's the auction tickets. Crystal is actually our partner in this. She's a producer, right? In addition to being the model, and she is getting half of all the proceeds after production costs. So, this is the breaking of the curse for her. This is compensating her for her use of her face this whole time. And again, that's why, the residuals will matter so much, because as this increases in value, as, we are all looking at NFTs that are unique, that have some historicity, right? The first ever NFT to use this Chainlink's keeper technology, right? And I really don't want to undersell this because, people are calling the Chainlink protocol the God protocol, right? But I don't think you need to be like a Chainlink maximalist to appreciate that, if you're into blockchain, this technology is the future of data streams, right? And this is the first NFT using specifically the keeper technology to ever fully integrate this. So we think she'll be rewarded for a long time to come. And that's a essential aspect of the whole campaign.
Awesome. So I bought one of these ticket NFTs, which I guess we could talk a little bit about here. So when we go to this link here, let me paste this for the audience here. We go to this website. We have to have our MetaMask account installed. And let me just put this up on the screen. So it's going to be accursed.art/curse-NFT-auction. And then through your MetaMask, we can purchase the ticket, which we're going to do here in just a second. And I got an uncommon. That's pretty good, right?
Yeah, that's definitely pretty good. There are 250 of those out of the 1,000 total. So as this is a subset, it's in the middle rarity. There's 3 different rarities.
Okay.
And the art that's being displayed is a preview of the short film that we released with Nowness. Right. So for an entire day last week, we pretty much took over Nowness, which has 1.6 million followers on Instagram. We were all over their Instagram feed. We took over their website. We're the first thing you saw. And it is a almost 4-minute short film that you can see featured on the ticket page. Right. So if you go to the page that you just linked to, you can see that short film by Charles Curran, our co-founder, that tells the story of Crystal Shot in the most beautiful cinematic way. So I highly recommend watching that. And they're going to do some additional promotions of this as well. But this was premiered via Nowness. They're one of our media partners in this, and we've been really excited to work with them.
Excellent, excellent. All right, so I don't think I've mentioned it yet, but the little trivia quiz that we're gonna do with the silly questions, I think we're gonna buy one of these tickets and give it away. What do you think, Sanyika?
Yeah, I'm excited to see what we get. Hopefully we get one of those epics. Is that what they're called?
I think the rarities were standard.
Yeah, the rares.
Uncommon and rare. Yeah. Yeah, Sanyika doesn't like the word rare for some reason.
Yeah.
He's got
I get it. It's played all of it. But I want to say one thing about the rare that's extra cool. And people have been pretty hyped about these. Right. So this is actually one of the scenes from the final NFT that was worked on by a 3D artist we're working with. And that is the first version of the scan by Protagon. Right. So that is the first NFT. Actually, the rare ticket is the first NFT that's going to include this high resolution scan by Protagon. Right. So again, first NFT they've ever done. The team behind all the Avengers movies, the 3D team that's currently shooting Avatar 2. Right. So it's actually this rare ticket. There are only 50 of them. And this is the first one to include that scan. So, there's obviously a lot of other reasons that I think the tickets are important, but that is a major one.
So another thing with the tickets, it says they'll be burnable for early access to the platform. Do the rarities have any play on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or will they all work?
So they all will work, but the rarities will essentially they'll essentially function as gas, right? And we'll be looking at what the floor is in the market actually for each of these to determine how much gas it is. So based on the secondary market value of the tickets themselves, they will power more usage of this first version of the platform, right? And you might be thinking like, why do I want to use this to use this platform? The really unique thing that you're going to be able to do, just like we made this Curse NFT that we're going to be auctioning off tomorrow using Chainlink's Keeper technology, you as an artist, or you as just someone who is even experimenting, or someone who wants to help an artist, will be able to use a platform where you can easily make a dynamic NFT using Chainlink's Keeper technology. Not only that, but you'll be the first ones to do it, right? So again, like these will be some of the first truly decentralized dynamic NFTs, and this will be one of the first platforms to be able to do it. And again, we're working with Chainlink to develop all of this. We're actually doing an AMA with them this Monday at 1 p.m. EST. I'll be sharing information about that later. But anyway, sorry, I had to hype up the rare ticket a little bit.
Yeah. So John, let me ask you this. You said the auction is when, tomorrow?
Yeah, so the auction kicks off tomorrow.
Okay.
Right.
We need to sell this out, right? Like if I read that correctly.
Yeah. So we've made some adjustments actually to the way this is going to operate. And so the auction itself is going to go until September 13th. And we have a couple of reasons that we're doing this, right? Originally, it was like whoever gets a ticket, and that's fine, right? There are hundreds of people that have gotten tickets so far. But as this project has gone on and as we've gotten more attention, we've gotten like more press that wants to, kind of spotlight this. We've gotten another major advisor that wants to come on board. And so we want to ensure, as like every ticket holder is a shareholder, that we maximize the value out of the entire economy that's being generated here. So the auction is going to go on for over 2 weeks. And the entire time we're going to be pushing more press. We're going to be making more announcements. Like I said, we have a couple of advisor announcements. We have a CTO announcement coming up. So we have a number of things that we're going to really be pushing. We have the Chainlink, AMA. We also have the Chainlink main link announcement. So there are a number of big campaign pushes that are going to be coming out in the next 2 weeks. And so as this auction is live, it's not just going to be like, we're watching an auction. You're going to be watching the continued unfolding of a campaign that's going to be driving more attention to this auction and definitely more ticket buyers. However, I agree. We also do have to get this to sell out because we all know that the sooner it sells out, the more we can all push the secondary market, and then the more all the ticket holders actually win, right?
All right. Well, let's get that ships sailing here. So I click on mint, purchase ticket, and then it changes to mint your ticket, right? And so then I click that. I get you guys can't see MetaMask opened.
Okay, good. I was wondering, I was like, where's the MetaMask?
Yeah, my gas fee is, I'm not going to say it. It's okay.
we can back channel that one. We'll figure that out.
Yeah, it's all good. But all right, and here we go. And so then it's gonna tell me here, and then I just need to go to OpenSea to see my rarity, or will I see my rarity on here? I don't remember.
It will show up on here. Yeah, you will be able to see it on OpenSea. You know, as you know, we're on. I know you guys are, you know, heavy on the wax, where things are generally, you know, pretty gas free and a lot faster. But us over here hanging out on Ethereum right now, we have to often wait a couple minutes for the transactions to complete. You know.
Yeah, we're used to everything being instant.
Yeah. All right. So while that's spinning, I have a couple of questions from the audience that I kind of want to use to segue into some bullet points that I had for this interview. So the Accursed team is very innovative in that they're bringing dynamic data into the NFT world. This ticket will grant entry to early access to that dynamic platform. What can you tell us about that? And then also, I kind of want to just ask Josh 757's question at the same time with that, which was, would it be possible to have dynamic NFTs on other chains with this tech?
Yeah, so I'll answer that question first. So Chainlink is going to be rolling out this technology on other chains. They actually just got their oracles on, I think it was Cardano, I just read about today. So, you know, it's definitely, that's why we're on Ethereum right now, because a lot of the technology from the major partners is coming to Ethereum first, right? So they got the Keeper technology first, but it is going to be integrated into other chains over time. Now, when it comes to our platform and our integration of it, you know, we're building on Ethereum right now, and obviously, like a lot of the chains that are coming out are compatible with Solidity. So we're going to evaluate, you know, kind of how these chains are looking as, you know, the next couple of months unfold to figure out what the best scaling solution is, right? But we definitely don't love the idea of everyone paying high gas fees and having to wait for transactions. Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
All right.
So not the worst in the world, right? That was about 2 minutes, about 2.5 minutes. Don't love it, but you know.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. All right. So we'll be giving away a standard ticket. There will only be 700 of these NFT tickets minted with this version of the art. Excellent. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt there.
No, that's fine. Yeah, I was addressing the Chainlink question. So yeah, the long story short is I think it'll be coming to other chains, you know, in the future. Once Chainlink has their Oracle integration, then the Keeper technology will get rolled out, and I think you're going to see in one way or another this open up a lot of like networked NFTs across chains, right? Because once you integrate something like this, you have decentralized oracles. It's not just like price feeds, but it's also data feeds that can come from nodes, and those nodes, you know, if Chainlink is integrated, it can come from any blockchain, right? And so, you know, this is really the first step, both with Chainlink's technology as well as like our platform plans at creating dynamic NFTs that will ultimately be cross-chain. They'll, you know, have different states that can be modified by a wide variety of different factors, including like real-world activity. And I think it's going to, you know, revolutionize, you know, what can be done in the NFT art space.
Excellent. All right, here, let me read through. So one of the questions we had from the audience was just, I guess they wanted a little clarity on what dynamic data is being referenced here. Like I guess the question would be like, what's changing specifically on an NFT?
Right. So with the Curse NFT, there are 5 different frames. The NFT is responsive to the price of Ethereum. When Ethereum goes up for 1 day in a row, it'll have one state. When it goes up for 2 days in a row or more, it'll have another state. It'll have a third state when it goes down 1 day, and a fourth day when it goes down 2 days in a row. And then it has a final form that is only unlocked when Ethereum reaches 20K in USD value.
What?
Yeah.
That one's not on the site.
Wow.
I'm excited for that. Oh, it is.
Yeah, you guys are making me realize that we got to work on our clarity here. We packed in a lot to this one, right? As I'm sure you all are aware as ticket holders, this past week, that has been, the main point of hype and launching the Discord and discussing the platform and what ticket holders are going to be able to do. And even in this conversation, right, it's what we've been focusing on so much, but these are tickets to an auction, right, to this very unique NFT, the first to integrate some unique technology that I think is going to be completely revolutionary. The first NFT in complete production by the biggest 3D team in the world. We have some fantastic collaborators kind of across the board on this one. And so, that auction starts tomorrow. It'll go on for a little bit more than 2 weeks, like I mentioned. And we're going to be doing kind of a unique thing here, obviously, because you have to buy a ticket in order to attend the auction. So you're going to be able to make an offer on OpenSea, and we will be checking the offers against the ticket registry, the addresses that are on the ticket. So it has to be coming from a wallet that owns a ticket. And then we will update the highest bid every 8 hours, right? The entire auction. So you don't know how many other people are going to be bidding or the highest bid necessarily, unless you're looking through all the tickets, right? But a ticket holder has to be the one to make the bid. Otherwise, we will not accept it. And so we'll continue to update the auction throughout the entire period until it ends at 5 p.m. on September 13th. Lucky number there.
So after it sells, in terms of it being dynamic and changing, is the person that wins the auction, will they be able to change how it's dynamic in any way? Or is that sort of set in stone when the NFT is minted?
Yeah, that is set in stone, right? So, I mean, the smart contract will perpetually draw from these 5 resources. But the smart contract itself, and this is where the platform comes from, the smart contract is going to be the source of all of the other smart contracts that are created using the platform, right? So in that sense, the owner of the NFT will have access to the platform, and they will be able to make dynamic NFTs if they would like, that are similar, or that they can change.
That's exciting. Here we have another question. So it's Saturday morning. What's the first thing you do when you wake up?
Yeah, it's funny. It depends on where I'm at. I was just in Mississippi visiting my family. I'm in Chicago now. So on an average day, though, when I wake up, I kiss my girlfriend and I ask her how she's doing. And then I walk around. I walk around my space. I do some breathing and clear my mind before I start my day. So check in with the girlfriend and then clear my mind. Yeah, that's how I start my Saturdays.
So where you can
Saturday.
Kiss my girlfriend for the answer.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, excellent. All right, so Josh in the audience had a question. If ETH hits 20K, does it stay in its final form? And I want to add to that. If it goes back under 20K, what happens? Does it change back?
Yeah, when it hits 20K, it becomes the final blessed form. So it does stay in that form. It's a threshold thing that changes the NFT. And so the final unlock state, that is I think the most beautiful artwork, certainly, that we've produced to date, will become the NFT. Yeah.
Excellent. All right, and another question from our audience here. So you buy a ticket just to get into the auction. They don't understand where the value proposition is. Is this for people keen on minting NFTs? So I guess the question is this just to get into the early access to the dynamic platform?
Yeah, so I mean, the ticket is obviously, it's the auction ticket. That's how we're framing it. But there's a whole kind of economy that's built into the ticket as well, right? So there's access to the platform. They'll be the first people that are able to mint similar dynamic NFTs, in the world without a developer. And then it also means access to our private Discord, which you two both joined. We're just trying to get that rolling, but we're getting, a number of NFT discussions there. We have some lawyers in there. We have some investors, some DAO experts. We have some engineers. We have artists, and this is just really starting to grow. So it gets you early access to this fantastic community that we're going to do additional work, curating and bringing in talent, and kind of ensuring that this is cutting edge NFT conversations. And in addition to that, there's going to be early access to our future drops. So the ticket holders will be the first to know. There'll also be discounts on early access to future drops as well, select ones. So there's a number of features that are built into the ticket in terms of access to our community, which we are really formulating not just as another NFT community, but ultimately the bridge between the technology world and the fine art world, right? So we're moving way beyond just JPEGs and video loops. Nothing wrong with that as an art form, but our focus, not just as a company, but as a community and as a platform, is to really push the boundaries of not just what is being discussed with smart contracts, but what is being done, right? So setting up collaborations, introducing people, all of these things come part and parcel when you're a ticket owner and you're in this community. In our Discord community, we call everyone, as you both are, patrons, right? Because it's the ticket holders that are literally making the forward movement of this whole platform and vision possible, which is fundamentally about enabling artists and advancing what's possible for art technology, right?
Excellent. All right, so one other question that I think I can answer. So this is built with Solidity. I feel like that answer is a yes, correct? Because it's on the
That's correct.
Ethereum blockchain. Yep. All right, very good. And there were some earlier questions about the cost of this NFT, and I can just tell you, looking, so it's 0.04 ETH, which is going to be static. Is that right, John? So it's not going to adjust.
That's correct.
Okay, great. So it's always going to be 0.04, which was about $125 at the time. And then my gas fee was like roughly $35. So it came out to a total of about 160. But if you weren't aware of this, so like the ETH gas fees fluctuate, and you could definitely find a time that's better for that. If I'm understanding all of this correctly, I know that Das or Dean on the NFTG team is into ETH NFTs, and he sent me some links to websites that actually track that kind of thing and let us know like when gas fees are likely to be lower to save on that. Oh yeah, and look, here it is right here, ethgasstation.info.
Oh yep.
Yeah, awesome. All right, I think Sanyika had a few other questions to ask, and then we're going to roll into our final, I don't know what, we don't have a name for these questions yet. We'll have to think of something. But
yeah.
Lightning round.
Yeah, that's good. So I had a question about, so I guess it's two. First, the marketplace, will it all be on OpenSea in terms of when people are actually able to mint the dynamic NFTs down the line?
Yeah, everything that is minted through this platform will be ERC 721 compatible, the metadata compatible with OpenSea.
Okay. And then second question, so will there be any sort of like, I guess there's the tiered sort of gas contained within the different rarity NFTs, but is there any sort of like paid features that we may expect, like a pro version, or is it going to be free for, I guess, anyone with the tickets as a beta, and then from there will expand to be just completely open? Sorry, that's kind of a lot in one question.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great. There's a lot of context that needs to be covered there, right? Because we didn't even get to like the open sourcing side of things. So when it comes to the platform, there's a more robust long-term platform that we're going to build as a company that'll be more fully featured, right? So this is the beta of a platform, and this specific beta that covers this smart contract, right? And creating dynamic NFTs in this way. So this one will be open source as a tool for the community, right? But before we do that, though, the ticket holders will get early access to it, right? So if you have a rare ticket, you'll be able to mint more NFTs and more, essentially, it's almost like a gas, more complicated NFTs, right? Because of the number of layers that are involved, the link that needs to be used, like powering the NFT, you can get pretty complicated with this, right? It's going to be a full featured dynamic NFT tool. So there's that. And then to answer the other part of your question, I think one way to address it is, yes, like rare ticket holders will get additional benefits as well. So far, we haven't like declared what those are, but there's going to be kind of like additional access that they receive. And that includes like to the longer term, more robust platform that we're going to be building as well. But, as we're building these tools and integrating them into a central platform, right? So that we'll have a platform that is similar to Async, where people can create dynamic NFTs and they are able to raise money, right? And bring more developers in and keep innovating. Piece by piece, as we create these dynamic NFTs, we will open source the tools to create your own, right? So we will provide an actual finished product to be used, but then also anybody will be able to take the code, spin it up, and pretty much remix it.
That's awesome.
John, you said async a few times, and I'm not familiar with that. That's where would I go to find that?
Oh, see, I'm doing marketing for the competition. It's funny, but I would say
is that a
good context though? Yeah, async.art. So I would say though they're a good frame of reference because they've been at this for over a year longer than us, and I can't. I'm gonna throw some shade here. I can't name one piece from their collection, and that's simply to point out they are doing a lot of innovation, but they are engineers and they're engineering. And over here, our focus is on the art first, right? The narrative, the collaboration, the aesthetics. And so async allows you to create asynchronous art. You have it like connected to time, right? So NFTs that change. But again, we're kind of looking at what they're doing, and we believe that it can be done way better from an artistic perspective, way better from a platform perspective, especially when it comes to like how you're designing dynamic NFTs and what you enable the artist to tap into. We're going for something much big picture that goes beyond simply asynchronous art, right? They've kind of committed to the asynchronicity. So that's kind of built into what they're promoting. But for us, it's about expanding way beyond that, right? It's not just attaching it to time, not just attaching it to price feeds, but attaching art to anything you can think of, right? It could be even human movements, right? You can attach NFTs to specific devices only, right? They have to be shipped overseas or something, otherwise the NFT, detonates. There's so many things that can be done that's, beyond the expansive time-based art. And that's really the realm that we want to play in, right? It's kind of the infinite expanse of the smart contract, right? So again, I am talking about the competition here, but there's a reason that we're inspired by them, and there's a reason that we believe that we're doing something far more interesting.
Awesome. And I see you have on your website an artist collaboration application.
Yep.
This is pretty neat.
So it's pretty straightforward. To be honest, we've gotten a lot of artists that want to collaborate, and so I recommend anybody that wants to work with us filling one of these out. And actually filling it out though. So one of the things we ask is like, why do you want to work with us? Do you have any idea that you'd like to start with? And if you do have ideas, that'll get you moving a lot quicker in the conversation. And so through this so far, we've had a number of artists that we've talked to, that we've set up conversations with, exploring their artistic concepts, and we've discussed funding them. We've discussed bringing in different designers that can work with them to execute their ideas, and then managing the end technical product itself, right? That would be needed to create these pieces of art. And so this is a large part of what we're doing as Accursed Share. We are a crypto art incubator. And so this is essentially a form to apply to have your art incubated and resourced through our efforts.
Fantastic. All right. Sanyika, did you have anything else for John before I go into the last quiz question?
Oh, I had missed one of them from earlier. What will minting fees look like? I guess the gas will be paid with your NFT, but will there be like a fee on top of that?
So again, we haven't committed to an implementation yet, but we are going to be using either a layer 2 or a more efficient blockchain. Again, we don't want to abandon we don't want to abandon the Ethereum ecosystem. That's kind of like the birthplace of, you know, the area of NFTs that we're really inspired by and have been focused on. And we want to maintain that community and accessibility and compliance with the standards. But we also are not about these gas fees, right? We want this to be accessible, and we want this to be fast, and we don't want these things to be barriers to artists creating, right? That's kind of like, could you imagine like if, you know, a piece of paper costs like $30 to draw on, you know, or like,
right.
And if you wanted to sell your art, you had to like pay all these other additional fees. Like it just wouldn't make sense, right? And so we're artists first in that respect. And so, you know, again, we're likely going to stay with the Ethereum ecosystem, or at least something that's compatible. But we're going to be using some type of layer 2 scaling solution that will dramatically reduce gas fees, if not eliminate them entirely.
Amazing.
Awesome. All right, John, where would you go in a time machine?
In a time machine,
I guess
can I go back as far as I want? Yeah, good point. So I was thinking about it all wrong. I was going to ask that. Do I get to pick where I go in the world too? Can I do both?
Yep.
Okay.
Location and time. You get to pick both.
All right. I'm gonna go with feudal Japan, because I feel like whatever movies I've been watching lately will be impacting, you know, my thinking here. And I've been really into the kind of shogun aesthetic lately, and that's just been, Japanese warrior has been on my mind. So, you know, let's go with like 1850s Japan. I think that would be a really fun place to explore culturally and just kind of soak it in. I like the level of intensity and virtue orientation of samurai soldiers, and being around that would be fascinating.
So yeah, I just pulled that up to Google it. What's the spelling? It FUTI.
Oh, feudal Japan.
Feudal. Gotcha. I got it. Like fight feudal.
Yeah. Yep. FEUDAL, Japan.
Excellent. Yes. These guys, look how smart our audience is.
Yeah, they all got it.
Awesome.
I'm just not speaking clearly. It sounded like feudal Japan. To Japan that lost the war. Anyway.
All right. I want to give the audience an opportunity to ask a few more questions before we wrap it up.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make sure we have all these answers jotted down. So if you have a question, go ahead and ping it into the Twitch comments, and we will ask John.
And I will say, if we have any hardcore Chainlink nerds out there, again, we are going to be doing an AMA September 1st. It's going to be on Chainlink's YouTube channel, so stay tuned there. It's going to be at 1 p.m. EST. We're going to have Chainlink product managers on that as well, that develop the Keeper technology. So if you want to get deep on some technical questions and understand where this technology can really go, this is going to be a great starting point. And again, I think to start something really big technologically.
All right. It doesn't look like they have any questions. Sanyika, do you have anything for John before we wrap it up?
No, I think I've asked. I'm sure to have more down the road, but for now, I think I'm good.
Yeah, I'm likely. Cool. I want to get this rare NFT. So, oh wow, look at that.
Yeah, I really want to get a rare one.
We started at. I know that when I wrote the document for our agenda for this, I had put 422 in there. So this is moving, and that was about an hour ago or so, maybe an hour and a half. Yeah, it looks like it's moving along here. We got to get this down to 0. Sell this sucker out.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. We are going to be doing, like I mentioned, a number of big pushes this upcoming week. So I would highly recommend getting your ticket while you can. You know, whether are 400 now, they're definitely going to be a lot less in the upcoming days until they sell out. So get in there. Good luck getting a rare. Those are already being marked up quite a bit on the secondary market. People are hyped on those. So best of luck, everybody. Get your tickets, and we'll see you at the auction tomorrow and in the Discord.
All right. One question here from the Crypto Jedi. So is there a way to put possibly donations tied in sort of like royalties? I'm not sure.
So that's interesting. Yeah. I mean, I like the idea. I'm not exactly clear on specifically the implementation they're suggesting, but I like the idea of people being able to contribute to something that is royalty based, right? And in that way, you can kind of contribute to like different artists. If there's different artists getting royalties, like fractional artist royalties have started to become a thing. So I'm not aware of anything like that right now, but that's certainly something that could be implemented into a smart contract. Right, you could send money to it and you become a patron essentially, and royalties are paid out. So I'm inspired by reading that question, and I hope I address something, and I'm definitely going to be taking that idea to the team.
Cool, neat. All right, and Farming Tales joined us and said, good evening. How you doing, Farming Tales? That's one of our metaverse friend partner projects on Wax. They have a really neat project. They are doing in real life farm products to like actually receiving them. I'm still expecting my I think I have like 500 kilograms of honey or something like that. Organic, artisanal Italian honey sitting at customs. Stupid US customs has it locked up for some reason.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah. And
that's amazing. I'm not sure I fully understand yet, but you had me at organic Italian honey.
Yeah,
so I'm like, send me the link. Send me the link.
Yeah. I'll do it. Yeah, you have to blend the NFTs up to get a special golden honey pot, and then they took your physical address information and shipped it out. I know Josh 757 received his. He did a little video on it, which is pretty cool. So awesome. All right, John, thank you so much for joining us. We will talk more in the Discord, in your Discord, DM. Sanyika, do you have anything?
No, yeah. Thanks for coming on the show. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, of course. Awesome talking to both of you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to, explain everything we've been working on. I know it's a lot and I didn't even cover everything, but you all have been awesome in, helping me kind of stay on track a little bit and explain everything while we're, directly in the middle of it. So I'll catch you all on the Discord, and can't wait to follow up further.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much, guys.